So go straight into some more examples. So the first one, f of x is equal to cos x from 0 less or equal to x less or equal to 360. So here, at least I'm happy. Those who've seen the solutions have managed to get the correct thing. 0, 90, 180, 270, 360. 0, it is 1, and then it's 0, then it's -1 here, then it's 0, then it's 1 there. So it comes this way. So that was okay. The graph of cosine, that's like we sketched the one for sine. So we'll do the second one on the next page. The second one, we are sketching f of x is equal to 1 plus 2 cos cos 2x minus 90. This is what you all sketched during during the break. I expect you to have this on your pages here. Okay. So sketch 1 plus 2 cos 2x minus 90. I've just changed the minus. Here what we had there was plus. Okay. So maybe to make a distinction, let me change the inside. Let me change the inside. Let me put 60 here. 2x minus 60. So again, we'll use the, we'll start with the table method, and then we'll sketch this without the table. So the table method, we need to find 1, the period. The period here is 360 divided by B. This is D, this is A, this is B, this is C. So we need B, so we put 2, which is equal to 180. Then we go to the scale. The scale is the period over 4. The period is 180. When we divide by 4, so we get 45. Then we get the horizontal shift. Horizontal shift. This shift here is called the phase shift in most exam papers. They call it the phase shift to mean the horizontal shift. So this is given by 2x minus 60 is equal to 0. Then you solve for x. So 2x is equal to positive 60. Divide by 2, divide by 2. We get x is equal to 30. This is the phase shift. So if I'm not given the scale, I'll sketch starting from the phase shift all the way up to a complete oscillation. So we put the table now. the table will have x and f of x. Then we start, we are starting at 30. Please notice that I'm saying you always start from the first shift and not the scale, but the first shift. So 30, and then 30, we now add the scale. 30 plus 45, we get 75. 75 plus 45, we get 120. 120 plus 45, we get 165. 165 plus 45, we get 210. Then we now substitute. What is f of 30? F of 30 is you should be adding by the scale always. So you're adding the scale to the numbers that you're getting. So you have 30, you add 45 because 45 is the scale for this particular case. So what is f of 30? That is 1 plus 2 cos 2 by 30 minus 60. This is 1 plus 2 cos, this is 60 minus 60, we get 0. Cos 0 is 1, so we have 1 plus 2, which is equal to 3. So this is 3 here. Then we go to 75. 75, we get 1 plus 2 cos 2 by 75 minus 60. This is 1 plus 2 cos 150 minus 60. This is 1 plus 2 cos 150 minus 60, that is 90. Cos 90 is 0, so we get 1. So we have 1. And then we go to f of 120. That is 1 plus 2 cos 2 by 120 minus 60. That is 1 plus 2 cos 240 minus 60. That is 180. This is -1. So we get -1. So from -1, we'll go back to 1, and then we'll go to 3. So once I get the 3 numbers, then I stop solving. The 3 numbers will keep on repeating. They will keep alternating. So if you want, you can solve for f of 165, you'll get 1. F of 210, you'll get 3. And then we put the sketch here. We are starting from 30. And then we add 45. Comes 75. Then we add 45. And then we add 165. And then we go to 210. Then we have 30,3 here, 75,1 here, 120, -1 here, and then here, and then here. So this goes like so. This is our sketch. The same sketch. Let's do it without using the table. Let's do this sketch without the table and see what happens. So we are dealing with f of x is equal to 1 plus 2 cos 2x minus 60. If we're not using the table, we need first, we find the period, which is 360 over 2, which is 180. 2, we find the amplitude, which is the absolute value of 2, which is equal to 2, because that is our number. This is our D, then A, B, C. And then phase shift, which is the horizontal shift. This one we equate 2x minus 60 to 0 and obtain x is equal to 30. And then the vertical shift is equal to D, which is 1. We still need the scale. The scale is period over 4, which is 180 over 4, which is equal to 45. We want to sketch without the table. So we go straight to the sketch in this instance. So we go straight to the sketch. You start with the amplitude. The amplitude is 2. So from 0, we go to 2, and then to -2. Instead of, so we are now working with this one. Instead of 1, 1, the amplitude now is 2. So we have 2 and -2. Then we know this, the sketch of cos, the original cosine starts from the first amplitude, the positive amplitude. And then from 0, since the period is 180, so it moves from 0 to 45, from 45 to 90, from 90 to 90 plus 45, 135. From 135 to 45, that is 180. Yes. So that is the, this is the normal graph now. We haven't talked of the shifts here. And then you sketch the normal one. So because I've got different colors, so I'll sketch it in bold. But if I only had one color, I sketch it in dotted. Maybe let me just put it in dots. So you put in dots. Let me restart my graph. So I'll do, because I'm coming here. Okay. This sketch is the original one squeezed in the period 180. But the one that we are sketching, the period is 180, yes. The amplitude is 2. We've taken care of the amplitude. So I've taken care of the period, taken care of the amplitude. Then we have the phase shift of 30. So to each point, we need to add 30. So we start 0 plus 30, we get 30 itself. So I put 30 here. Then again, I add 45 plus 30. So 45 plus 30, I get 75. So I have another point here, 75. And then 90 plus 30, 120. 135 plus 30, we'll get 165. 180 plus 30, we get 210. 210. So here we get 210. Then, so our points have now moved from 0,2 to 30,2 here. And then from 45,0 to 75,0. From 90,-2 to 120,-2. And then to 165, then to this one. So now we are talking about a graph having this shape now. So I have taken care of the phase shift. We're remaining with one thing for us to have a final graph, the vertical shift. So the vertical shift, to each point we add 1. To each y point we add 1. So now adding -2, we add 1, we'll have -1. 0, we add 1, we'll have +1. And 2, we add 1, we'll have 3. Then we move the blue one up. So this point is moved to this one. And then this one is moved to 1. And then this one is moved to 1 as well. This one is moved to 3. The down one is moved to -1. And then now we have a complete graph. So this is the final graph, the graph of f of x is equal to 1 plus 2 cos 2x minus 60. So if you don't like the issue of angles, you can as well go with this one. But my advice is go for the table, because the table, you only get to calculate 3 numbers. The other numbers will come by themselves, and then you don't need to check what is the vertical shift, those things. According to the graph itself, the table will do all the shifts for you, as you can see here. You only do 1, 2, 3. So I'm doing 1, 2, 3. I have all the numbers I need. And then I place those numbers. Then I have the sketch. It will do all the shifts for me. But you have options. You can choose which one works well for you. If this one works well for you, well, you just, but the more you practice, the more you get to know that these are very, very simple things. Very, very simple. Because the first one, when you graph it with the already modified period. Then the second thing, you're also attaching the amplitude. So 2 things at once. Then here you can actually do 2 things at once as well. You can do the phase shift together with the vertical shift when you get used, of course. Because I can just say, for example, if I'm now used and I want to sketch this. So I'll say, okay, to sketch this, I'm starting from, okay, so first I put the normal lines. I have 0. I have 0. Then I have 45. Then I have 90. Then I have 135. Then I have 18. Then the amplitude 2, and then -2. So the first graph, of course, I'll have this. I'll have this. Then the next one, I'm now doing the vertical shift stroke, the horizontal shift. So I'm adding 30. So I add 30 to 0. 0 plus 30, I get 30. Immediately I get 30. Then I move the point. I'm also adding 1 to the y. So 2 plus 1, it's 3. So the point will be here. This point has moved zigzag. It moves to the right, then it goes up. Like that. Then I got the next point, 45 plus 30, I get 75. So there's, or let me use blue here. So there's 75. Then I'll say 75 comma, it was supposed to be comma 0. 0 plus 1, I get 1. So I put a point here. Then 90 plus 30, I'm getting 120. 120 comma -2. -2 plus 1, I get -1. So 120 comma -1. And then 135, it goes to 165. 165, it was supposed to be at 0. 0 plus 1, it's at 1. Then 180 plus 30, 210. 210 comma 2 plus 1 comma 3. And then you sketch your second graph will be a complete one to be ready. So I have the sketch. So just 2 graphs, then I have the complete one. So have you seen that? Any questions? Any questions? Understood. The table is less complicated. Maybe, maybe. But when you practice both, this one is nice. If you understand it this way, where I don't need 3, you just need 2. Because this one, obviously, to come up with the first one is the easiest thing. And then you just tap your first shift and then add. So you can do another example that will be based on this method. But I can try to convince you that is also nice. So let's go to example 3. 3, f of x is equal to -2 plus 3 sine let me say sine 3 sine 3x minus 60. Let's fix 60 here. Yeah. Maybe let me do 180 here. Let's see what we get. So we'll have first the period, which is 360 over 3. 3 is our B, the inside. So we do that's 120. That's our period. And then the amplitude, the absolute value of 3, we still get 3. And then the first shift, that's the 3x minus 180 is 0. So we get x is equal to 180 over 3. So that's 60. Horizontal, the vertical shift is equal to -2. And then the scale is 120 divided by 4. That is 30. Then we sketch. So we sketch. The sketch is very, very easy. So since I'm using the other part, I can bring it a bit inside. Okay. Then we start. So this is sine. So we have 0. The period is 120. The scale is 30. So we have 0, then 30, then 30, then 30 plus 30 plus 30, we get 60. 60 plus 30, we get 90. And then we get 180. And then the amplitude is 3. So we'll have 3. And then we'll have -3. When we start from 0, that is how sine graph is. very squeezed because of the scale. So this is the graph. Then from there, we get them. We now do the shift. So we add 0 plus the first shift 60. So 0 plus 60. So we are coming here. This is our first point. That point, comma, it was supposed to be 3. Then we are subtracting 3 minus 2. Remember, we're adding this number here. So 3 minus 2, the vertical shift, which is here. So 3 minus 2, we get 1. So it's coming here. So we have a point here. What have I done? Oh no. So it's so supposed to be, we have moved 0. We've moved this point to 60. So it means this very point. So 0 minus 2. So it will be at -2. Yeah, it will be here. That's why I put a point. And then, so it moves to the right, then it moves down. Okay. Then again, we move 30. So to avoid so many lines, let me do this. Okay, so I move to 60, then to -2. So this is the point. And then you move 30 plus 60, it goes to 90. 90,3. 3 minus 2, 90,1. So the point comes here. And then 60 plus 60, 180, 0, so it comes down. Then 90 plus 60, we have 210. 210, -3, then -2, so it goes to -5. So it comes to -5. And then 180 plus 60, we get 240. 240,0, so it comes here. And then you have the final sketch, which is just going up and then coming down. And then it goes up. As long as you know that it will move to the right, then up. Or it will move to the right, then down. Or when we have negatives, it will be moving to the left, then up. Or to the left, then down. We only have these 4 options. So this one was moving to the right and then down. So it was using this one. Very, very easy. It depends with what you practice. So go to, so an exercise will come from let me check the exercise. Will come from sheet 5. The table does good wonders. Okay. At least I've tried to be a bit balanced. I convince you this side, then you choose. Okay, an exercise is coming from question sheet 5. So exercise. Sheet 5. Question 10. Maybe I'm interested in question 10B, question 11, not question 11, question 10B, yes, and question 9B. Yeah, and question 9B. Question 9B. So I'm doing question 10 and 9B. So this will be cutting in time. So I'll be expecting the work to be posted inbox. Have a good night. You divide 360 by B. No, you'll be just doing the one complete oscillation.